Okay, the house faces east. We're looking at the front of the house. Right here's the dining area. These are the cleanouts, PVC cleanouts for the sewer system. You can look at the foundation perimeter here. And the foundation perimeter has been smoothed over, okay, with a porch coat. It's kind of like a cake frosting. That's decorative. We're coming along here, and what we see here is these handrails for these steps. It's nice that you have them, but they're not graspable. Granny can't grab that. So we're coming on along here. We're coming up the front steps. There's a little bit of split right down here at this column. And when you have these bands around the bottom of the column, horizontal trim boards, I can't see behind there. It's assumed that there is a stand installed beneath there to keep water from wicking up into the system. But if we come on along here and we see this post, okay, and obviously this post does not have a stand. When you paint these handrails like this, you're encapsulating any moisture that gets inside the wood system. So it is what it is, but it's imperative that these holes, these drill holes, these nail holes, fastener holes, should be sealed to help prevent the escalation of that issue. We're coming along here, and these windows, okay, if you can look up there, let me zoom you in here. Okay, these right here, these are called weep holes, and they allow moisture to escape from the drainage plane, from the structure. And we want those. So we want them around the foundation as well. So we come along here. We've got weep holes. Alright. But there's a little window right here. That's your builder you can hear in the background. Okay, with all his sophisticated self. But this is the small window into the breakfast area, and that's the lintel right there. And what we notice is we do not have weep holes. This is the doorbell, and it works. I can hear it. Alright, and it's been sealed, but this doorbell should have been illuminated. It's GFCI protected. This is the water meter. It's out by the front curb. Okay, and that's the dial inside of there. And right to the left, right up in there, is a cheater wheel or a cheater paddle. It's very sensitive. If that's moving, water's moving. Water supply to the house is moving. So if that's moving, you have a leak. If you can't see the leak, it's someplace you can't see. This is the check valve for the lawn sprinkler system. There's the 2 check valve isolation handles, and then there's the main shutoff valve to the lawn sprinkler system right there. Now see those little rubber boots that are hanging off of it? Those little rubber boots should have been installed on the valve. This irrigation box should have been excavated, and it should have been lined with gravel to keep mud from coming in there like that. And it'd be better if your meter was also addressed in the same fashion. Okay. Rain gutters should not discharge this close to the house. Alright? Maybe they're going to put some blocks in there. Who knows? Alright? This is a gas port right here for the front porch. Check with the manufacturer, because some exterior grill manufacturers recommend that you do not install underneath a covered patio like that. This is your Home Team pest control. Now these are called weep holes inside the windows. Alright? Because these windows are fenestrations, they're holes in your walls, and they're designed, as you can see this, they're designed to shed water, okay, to take it outside of the structure. These little weep holes right here, they're supposed to have little weirs inside of them. Those are little trap doors. You can get like 12 for $12. They're not very expensive. But what they do is they prevent garbage from getting up in here. They're kind of problematic in and of themselves. They keep garbage from getting up in here. What I've noticed once in a vacant house on a windy day, on windows that did not have weirs, it played like a flute. Okay? We've got brick exterior. This is your fireplace chimney. The fireplace exhaust. You have the chimney up there. Let's see what's going on when we get inside. Okay, All this siding, it pretty much looks standard. I can't find anything exceptional about it. Over here, this yard, you can see the way the yard slopes towards the house. That's negative drainage. You can see how the yard is level. A house should drop 6 inches within 10 feet from the house to divert water away from the structure, and that's just not happening here. And that's another one of those, you know, I don't know if the drain's too close, and also I cannot determine that there's weeps underneath there, stands underneath there. This is the drain for your laundry. Okay, if your clothes washer is draining, there's a safety pan upstairs, and that's where the water comes out of. What we have here is first course, second course, same thing with shingles, same thing with stairs, first, second, third, fourth. That's the way it goes. It looks like we've got some sort of a water issue between the first and second course over here in the courtyard, the downstairs courtyard. Okay, the paint's been peeling off. The builder's pretty much convinced that it was wet and the sprinkler system peeled that off. That may or may not be the case. It may be a faulty drainage plane because the water's supposed to come out continuous and go exit underneath the first board. This is the main shutoff for the air conditioning unit. This is the electric service for the air conditioning unit. We got the same window issues we were talking about before. Okay, this unit is not level. This unit is not level, and the foundation pad does not raise this unit a minimum of 3 inches above the ground. Okay, it's supposed to be picked up a little bit there. This is your rain freeze sensor for your lawn sprinkler system. Okay, that's a good thing. Come over here. Maybe it is lawn, maybe it is wet, but we've got on the first rail, it's not painted, and we've also got peeling paint on that first line, on that first course, excuse me. I just knew I'd find it sooner or later. All right. This butt joint, has not been sealed. This butt joint there you go. This butt joint has been sealed. Alright? So I have instructions by the Hardy plank manufacturer. It says butt joints should not be sealed and that it should have flashing tape underneath it. I'm going to look up the most current version of the Hardy board instructions and see if that's still the case. I have heard some people explain that Hardy might have changed their position. I don't know. I need to read it. I know what I have. I know what's in my library. Coming along here, this is the back exterior faucet. Okay. This vertical car entry casement, it should not be closer to the cement than 3 inches. It should be cut up. There should be a gap, a weep gap between that. Otherwise, water will weep up off of this. Even though it's not in direct contact, I assure you, water will weep off of this, and it will cause premature rotting in this area. This is also because of the control joint, wood form boards in here, close to the ground. All of this is conducive to wood destroying insects. You shouldn't expect to have problems with termites for about 7 years. It doesn't always happen on the 7th birthday. You could have them sooner. There's no hard, fast rule. But if you do have termites, this is going to be a target spot. These are going to be target spots for termite entry. Mark my words. Over here, this is the UFR for the garage. Okay, that's the system that they're using for bonding. It's been controversial. It's pretty much accepted. But I'm not seeing a main ground for the electric service panel. The main ground for the electric service panel is supposed to be within 6 feet. Okay, then we come over here. The door between the garage and the living space, that should be self-closing. Okay, for fire blocking. You have a metal car entry overhead door with an automatic motor. And this motor, by the way, does not have a battery backup. So if you lose power, you lose access to the, I mean, you cannot, you don't have emergency power. So we're going to do the button here. This button, oh, I tripped that. How about that? I was in the backyard before I started rolling. Now the front porch has its own GFCI outlet, I believe. I tested, I know it works, I'm just not sure about the complete operation. Okay, this button is not supposed to be closer to the garage floor than 5 feet. Not supposed to be closer to the garage threshold than 5 feet so that children can reach it. There's supposed to be a safety notice posted on the side of this door. It looks like a little kid getting squashed. All right, so come along here. Pull handles present, lights present, optic sensors. Safety notice, it could be stuck on better, but there's your safety notice. There's your spring tension notice. There's your handles inside of the door. All right, the optic sensors here, they're not supposed to be closer to the ground than 6 inches, closer to the garage floor than 6 inches. So these optic sensors are a little high right here. Coming across here, we're going back. This is the east side interior garage. This is the main shutoff valve to the house. If you have a water problem, you come out to your garage and you turn it like this. Perpendicular is off, okay? Parallel is on. That's the whole water to the house, which is a PEX system. Coming over here, we have a tankless water heater. The thermostat is next to the water heater. Now, for the most part, this installation looks okay, but we've got an issue here, okay? See that little red label right there over that valve? That means that this installation is not complete. The plumber who installed this just bolted it up. It's good to go. All right? But that tape should have been removed when they adjusted the service port to it. So we don't know that this gas line is properly calibrated to the water heater because that label was left on it. Okay? This is the load center. Garage, house faces east, house faces west. Okay, garage north interior wall. Garage east interior wall. West interior wall for the water. Garage, okay. What we have here is we got several circuits that are 15 amps. In the day, that was acceptable. In some municipalities, and I believe Plano might be one of them, I'm going to do a little bit of research, but 20 is now the minimum for these. All right? There should be a notice posted inside this panel box somewhere that says where the external grounding is. Yeah, we've got grounding over there, all right? But it should be posted there so that any dummy can figure it out. You're not supposed to have more than a 1/4 inch gap between the panel and the cover plate. That's your fire blocking right there that's been compromised. This panel has been screwed into place. All right? Screws are fine because they get things nice and tight and they're nice and fast to work with. But screws are tensile. Nails have more shear strength. You ever try to tear apart an old tree house? Okay, it's hard to get those nails out. So if this house was subject to a tornado, or if it was subject to an earthquake, and we've had a few of those around here too, I can't believe it, but it happens. All right, so these screws will not hold this panel in the wall as securely as if the panel had been nailed in. Over here, this is the panel label. Right in here, this is the panel label, and you'll notice that a lot of this is handwritten. Well, it's not supposed to be handwritten. It's supposed to be printed. That's the code. It's supposed to be printed. I'll give the code reference inside the inspection report, but that panel was not properly labeled. This outlet box underneath here, I'm assuming, or guessing is a better word, that that's probably for an electric charger for an electric vehicle. And again, you have the gap is too large here. On the lawn sprinkler system, usually on new construction here, I'm seeing a green tag, a permit, which I don't find. Also, the stations are not labeled, but the instructions are here. This can tell you how to operate it, but the station should be labeled, and that could be hand labeled. It doesn't have to be printed like on the breaker box, but the station should be labeled. It'd be better if you had the entire instruction manual over here, and I'm not seeing a green permit either. Coming along here, spring tension on the garage door. Over here, this is pretty interesting. Okay, what we've got over here All this is called Z-bar flashing, and it comes over here. And the Z-bar flashing goes all the way past the edge of from the Z-bar flashing between the horizontal trim board and the vertical trim board. It goes all the way to the trim board. You walk over here, do a little distance, come over here, and for whatever reason they chose to notch out the Z flashing. Now one of them's right, or both of them are right, one of them's wrong, or you at least should get an explanation. Should at least get an explanation. When you come over here, this is the light over the garage, the courtesy light over the driveway, and that should have been sealed. Over here, now, starting at the garage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth board right there. Looks like we're loose. We got a little gap right there. Alright, going with the house's west. This is the patio coming up here. And there's we're missing a little bit of paint up there. You don't really see that from the other side. The other side will be for the interior video, but you don't really see that. But you're missing a little bit of paint right there. Moving on along, rain gutters do not divert water far enough away. There we go. This is the control wires for the lawn sprinkler system. And where this fenestration goes to the wall, that should be tightened up and sealed. Water can get in there. This is your electric service panel. They've bothered to seal it. That's what they should have done. I've been reporting it if it wasn't. I'll be reporting if it wasn't. I'll be reporting if, oh, it's not. They sealed one side, but they forgot to seal the other side. Imagine that. Okay. Coming along here. This is the flue for your water heater. And this guy should have been sealed up a little better. We got wind-driven rain coming around this. That's just, and it's bent. That's kind of a hodgepodge. This is the emergency drain line for the water heater. And we got a little more of this. This is on the second course. This is looking more like a paint issue than a drainage issue. So the builder might be right about that. I don't know, but he might be. Okay. This drain line for your water heater is not supposed to be farther from the ground than 6 inches. It's supposed to have a 90-degree elbow attached to it, pointed towards the ground. So the emergency drain line was not addressed properly. And again, we come over here, and we've got butt seams that are not sealed, butt seams that are sealed. So are they supposed to be sealed or not supposed to be sealed? I'm not sure what the most current requirements are, but I'm pretty sure it's not and or. But I don't know that. We'll find out. Like I said, I'm promising. We got a broken window here in the I'm not sure what room that is. We'll find out from the inside. Another clean out coming along. Another clean out. So, oh, here we go. Now, this is the kitchen window. If that's west. If that's west. This is the kitchen window. And we're on the west side of the north wall, but we got some putty in here. We got some repairs. I thought I saw a better example of that, but they've also got in here with some Bondo, notched in some nice trim board around the window right there. Oh, here it is, the vertical casement between the windows. All right, so that's beautiful. Nice Bondo job. It's assumed that the screens are going to come in. Okay, there was some discussion about the meter being tilted towards the wall. As I see it, okay, my opinion is I see it as a non-issue because they read them electronically. Okay, so nowadays they don't even have to install them in fences. I mean, if you have a fence, they no longer cut peepholes for them because they can read this electronically. I believe that they can read it from the office, but if at least they can just drive the truck down and they'll pick up your readings like that. This is the front exterior faucet. These styles of faucets are used. There was a small epidemic about these faucets having lead in them. This style, the green ones, but that's not the case. These are lead free. And we're back where we started. So there we go. Let's look at the inside.